Hey there, soul sister. Welcome to another episode. This one's a little different. This is about visibility. This is about how to be visible to potential partners and using video and other things like that in reference to dating. Important stuff. So let me say, Sal Daina's in the house. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so thrilled to have you. What an amazing topic. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me and for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you and your community. This is a great topic for women who are looking for love in midlife. I'm so excited to be with you. You're an expert in this.
So good, so good. Plus your accent. It's like I could just listen to you talk all day long.
Same.
Really?
Yes.
I was like, I'm so uneloquent compared to that amazing accent that you have. But anyway,
wow,
that's just my shit around being a New Jersey girl.
It all just sounds like it's from New York to me, whether it's New Jersey or
Right.
it just sounds like it's New York. So
yeah, it's all good. All of our dialects. So let me let them know a little bit about you, because Sal is amazing. She's an award-winning film and video producer, the CEO of GLO, Get Live Online, her online business that runs visibility and personal brand upleveling strategies and coaching programs. With over 20 years experience, Sal has been helping her clients create perfect visual pitches and content to create a presence, harnessing the reach and power of video and filming techniques so that they can grow their income and influence online. And I wanted you here today because it's not just about being visible and the bottom line of growing income and influence online, which many of the women here might be like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I have an online business, or I want to be more visible online. Women are dating and video chatting is a thing. Putting our pictures online may not be video, but it's still presenting and being seen. And a lot of women have a lot of challenges around that and how to do it well. So I am thrilled to have this topic here. Yay.
Yeah, you really nailed that in that the video is not going anywhere. Like, it's really here. And in fact, it's only becoming more and more prevalent, like you said, and that it's really about having a personal brand now, whether we like it or not, but that's authentically us. And I think for women in midlife, I'm 53 in a couple of weeks, and we have a very different cultural lens. We grew up we didn't grow up with the, selfie culture, right? We're probably very judgmental of that when that first happened. We were the judges. Right?
We still are to a large extent.
And reflecting our own inner judgment and critic.
Yeah.
Because no one's fault. You probably feel like this yourself. And I have, when I realized this is not anyone's fault, but as a long-standing producer, and we're creating images and we're helping people to feel emotions so that they can get the story in a movie or whatever, we've imprinted on women's brains what things should be like. And we come from magazines, television, cinema, and then online. So we've got 4 visual cultural references that our brain is trying to see or not see when we see ourselves on camera, or when we see or don't see others. So that peeling that back and thinking more about, like, I put perfume on to come and meet you today, right?
And I smell you. And why did you do that, Sal?
Because when I go on camera, the whole point for me is to bring my most authentic self.
Yes.
And to see that it's just an extension of a way for me to communicate directly with you, and that as if we were meeting together in person.
Yeah.
And as the technology becomes even more crisp, more clear, it moves faster. It will no doubt move from the video that we see it and the handheld into a Jetsons-like avatar in our room. That's coming.
It is. It really is. I don't. Have you ever seen the Black Mirror episodes?
some many years ago.
Yeah, well, I was a little late to the party, and it's all about this advanced technology. And yes, to be able to see somebody in 3D and suddenly have them in your room outside of a computer or a phone. I mean, it's all coming. And at the end of the day, it is a great tool. This is a great tool to be able to see each other. And what I heard you say is, I put on perfume because you were meeting me. And I always tell my clients, it's like, before you write your profile, before you start to talk to somebody, set the stage, light a candle, put some incense on, get into a place that feels good to you. And now you're talking about being visual and how there are certain things to help people feel more present and be able to communicate and connect through this medium. So what else can you share with her around?
I just have to love that. I have to love that point to before you do anything, light a candle or anything for a dating profile, which I'll now have to do myself because my recent relationship flazazzled, and I'm like, I want to get much more specific about what I want. So
I'm laughing because you were like one of like 5 women that I've spoken to today, including myself, that we did the flazzle. What did you call them? Fizzazzled? What happened to your relationship? Whatever happened to your relationship, many of us have been like, this is not for us. It's time to move on, fresh slate and clarity. Yeah. So yes, I'm right there with you, sister.
Yeah, cool. On that Valentine's Day that just passed, I wrote him a very long note. I thought, no, I'm going to simply say what I want and how I feel, and I be done. And I don't think I'll ever hear from him again, but I feel so good.
Good for you. Oh my God.
Being heard, being valued is part of the visibility piece.
I was just going to say that, like you really were called to be visible in your truth. And that's another piece of really owning who we are and really having those healthy boundaries. So visibility, I'm hearing, and I know, is not just a pretty face and having the right colors on. It's about how we're being, how we're feeling, and honoring ourselves, for sure.
For sure. Honoring ourselves, and also having that reflected in a connection of belonging. And so that that two-way piece and of a connection, and, as Brene Brown says, is, belonging, and that's being seen, heard, and valued. And so in business, I look at it from that point of view. But every woman that we work with, really, they're over 40 usually, comes to us with a visibility block, something from the past generally that is standing in their way. I had a client recently who got given the part in a play and then had it taken away from her. Well, how hard is that going to be for her as someone that's got to get on camera? And no matter how hard I work, how great I look, how much I perform, I'm always going to be not getting what I deserve. That story, running her videos, making her do her hair in a way that's not her hair. I'm like, do your hair the way it's your hair, but just do it bigger. This is the misconception about visibility. When you're on video, you want to go bigger. Not
Tell
small.
me more about being bigger.
Okay. So I washed my hair for you as well.
Wow. Perfume, hair. For those of you listening to the audio, you should go check her out on YouTube because she is delish. Well, thank you.
So I have what we call a signature style or a signature outfit, so that it identifies me very quickly across all of my social footprint. And I don't wear this outside of my house. I used to, but now it's my on-camera outfit. So that means that you've got more knowability, likability, and trustability because it's consistent across everything. So if you look at the social media, you'll see that I look pretty much the same every time I'm on camera. And when you meet me in real life, I'm quite a big personality. Like people say, I've got a lot of energy coming in the room. So you want to match who you are. Now, if you're an introvert, you might have a more to be sort of seen around you. You might want to create a different way of saying, I need you to be more quiet for me. But the camera is picking up our minds are picking up so many different things in a frame. In order to be of the focus, you need to be a bit bigger. So even the introvert has to find something to anchor who's seeing her in view, rather than them looking at a picture behind you, or what books are you reading, or what's that nice incense holder, or what's that. So our frame is an extension. That's one way of being bigger. If you're an introvert, you can put more things about yourself in the frame. If you're having a video conference, you might show it and sit in your favorite place in the house, so that there's something to talk about for someone else to rest their eyes on. So it's different for different people in different ways, but being big on video means using color to be seen. So blacks and whites are not great for the camera. Just stay away from them. That's my hottest tip. Just stay away from wearing black and white. Or if you really love wearing black, throw a scarf on, throw a big necklace on, throw some accessory on that brings some color, so that we're looking at your face.
Yes.
Because when we're out in the world, we don't look at people's shoulders. We don't look at them above. We're not looking at the ceiling, right? And so we want to make sure in the video frame, your face, your eyes are always in the top third. This is a really key part. And that your face is either well lit, but also all the attention is being taken to it, to your mouth, so that you're seen, heard, and valued for what you say.
Wow, that was such hot tips right there. I'm loving this. Okay, so I loved when you were talking about the introvert, because again, this woman here might be an introvert, she might be an extrovert, and then she goes on camera or is posting pictures online. We'll move the business thing aside, since this is mostly for single people, but this can be applied to everything. So the introvert, I want to make sure I captured this. So having things in addition to her, so that they can
actually still draw attention to her.
So give me a couple examples of that, because I'm not 100% sure I got that. If somebody, because my understanding is an introvert might have a little bit more challenge being overt, being expressive, and here she is on video, maybe for the first time with somebody. What might support her in conversation and connection with somebody new?
Is expressing who she is in visuals around her. But that always, you still want to have your face, it's drawing attention to the face.
Okay.
So that if she's feeling too much, she can set back and they'll probably talk to something in the frame.
Got it. So that's like supporting her. She's still the main attraction, but she's got pieces around her to support her. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's right. You can move yourself, and then they'll notice something else, and then moving forward or back if they need some space and time. It's the same thing. It's just you've got a smaller plane.
Beautiful.
Right?
And visually, just for those of you that are listening, Sal's actually moving toward the camera and away from the camera and moving around. So that's another strategy right there. If you're feeling like you need to have some space, you could actually move back, and then you have those things around you that they could potentially tap into. What about the extrovert? Somebody like me that's just like, lots of energy on video. What's the best suggestion for someone who has a large energy and is on a video date or taking pictures?
So always your signature style visually, it requires you to have your mood and tone amplified in pictures or videos if you're promoting yourself to be seen by others. It ceases to be about us and it starts to be about how we're seen. So the photographer is looking at you, the videographer, the cinematographer, the potential date, the potential employer, the potential client. So a big personality is, I have a very clear background. Do you see that?
I have, and I noticed that she's got this like pinkish red background for those of you that are listening, and it's just simple and clear, nothing there. And I love it, by the way.
Yeah, it's called Priscilla Pink. It took us 6 months to find this pink. I've lived in a number of places and I have the paint color, and my sister's a stylist, so we work together at GLO. And so finding the color that opens other people up to you, Junie, is a way that, so this color represents to me the heart opening, love, fun, generosity. relationship, connection.
Nice.
And I am so big and so full on that it softens the edges of me for people.
Yeah.
So if I had a blue, it would feel very corporate. And I'm not corporate. And in a corporate environment, I would be like an anathema to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we find the thing that is a balancing point for the ones that we want to attract.
Makes sense.
Who can come in, who can feel safe. It's about making people feel safe to trust you as you are. And this color came about actually because I was like, I want a romantic bedroom. I want a really romantic bedroom. And so my sister being a stylist, we started doing a Pinterest board and looking for the pinks for such a long time. And we finally got it. And then I had to make a video one day. And we had swatches on the wall of all the different pinks. We'd come up with 5. And I jumped in front of one and I made a video and we both just went, holy, what? Wow, that's incredible. And we'd been trying to find an angle and a place in my house for 6 months as well. And I just went, that's it. This is becoming the filming studio wall. Forget that, the pink bedroom. So it does come from a place of love and romance, actually, which is, of course, visibility. Love and romance is part of my values as well, about loving yourself, being loved by others, really going for that high level love, attracting really divine clients, sacred men, if that's sacred women, divine women, whatever it is that you're attracted to and wanting to bring in, that's you get your highest and your best out there. So as an extrovert, you want to have a balance of what it is that you're bringing, that you want to attract people, because there's another side of me that's really shy and really quiet. We all have introvert in us.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, I share that with people too. And they're like, what? You shy? I'm like, I've got my moments. I've got my need to go in or like in groups of people sometimes. So anyway, I love that you brought that up. So in reference to love, in reference to dating, you're mentioning the introvert, extrovert, you're mentioning color. Is there any other tips around how to engage on video if they are indeed having a video chat, maybe meeting for the first time?
Yeah, we also talked about the movement of moving forwards into the camera and out of the camera. And really the biggest tip I can offer people is to act as if you are in the cafe with them. Another really big tip that I give to people is turn off your self-view. If you're in Zoom or something, you just turn off your self-view and you push up the image that you're looking at someone as close to the lens as you can.
Yeah.
So that you're really engaging with them as if we are across the table from each other. It's the most intimate space. People don't talk about this very often. There is no way in the world that I would be up close as I am with you in your home and in your space. That would be like the equivalent of you being here to me. So people don't realize that as well in video. It's so intimate. And so if you make it bigger, people kind of accept that they've got to move back and you remove the intimacy. But it's this false intimacy of they're right in your face.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. Really, the hottest tip is act as if, focus on them, really listening to understand, watching their mouth move on the video camera so that you're not distracted by other elements. These are the things that if it's about engaging with others, then the focus is always about, I mean, you would know this, Junie, that it's about being there, being listening to respond.
Yes. Yes. And those are great tips. I mean, those are really great tips. And this whole Zoom thing and the video chatting, it's so new for most people. I mean, with COVID, people became experts. Before COVID, people were like, what's Zoom? Every once in a while, someone will say, can we Skype? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Skype? That's still around, but before COVID, Skype and Zoom. I was already Zooming. So people have gotten much more comfortable with computers and video and selfies. And with that said, these nuances of the intimacy, because at the end of the day, we want to be able to connect. And if our eyes are looking, I know there's sometimes I'll be talking to somebody and they're looking all the way off to the right because of it's an iPad or something. So that's another thing I'm going to just throw out there is try to be on a laptop where you're actually looking straight at the person, because it's really weird when you're trying to connect and have that, that intimacy, but your eyes are all the way off to the right, looking at the camera, or you're not looking at the camera, you're looking at the person's face. And it's like, that's going to get in the way, and certainly first impressions. So what about
generally there's a little dot, a light, which will tell you where the lens is, where the camera is.
right?
And so, I've seen people put eyeballs on it. They do all sorts of things to change the way that you want to just remember this is a person, not a piece of technology at the end of the phone.
It is. And yet it's also what I'm going to say is like this whole time that we've been talking, I'm looking at a green dot. I'm not looking at you. I mean, I can kind of see you, but I'm looking at the green dot because I want to be able to be looking at the camera so that you're seeing me looking at the camera. And for those of you that are doing video chats, I would lean toward looking a little away from the camera. So you're actually looking at the person. Otherwise, you're going to miss their cues. You're going to miss their connection. Got to feel it out. What about how much?
And what I would say to that, just to add to that, that's all very true. It is. I can look. There's a way that you can look at both between a soft focus of between the lens and you, but I'm looking at you. So if your viewers are seeing this rather than the people listening, and I'm looking now at the image of Junie, whereas she was looking at me, and you can see the difference in our eyes and notice that the brain will adjust. Our brains will adjust. It will say, but it will take a bit of time. So sometimes we miss the words and the nuances that people are saying. And I imagine in love, like when you may be meeting a client and you're going to do a sales call, that's really important to have a true connection.
Yeah. So well said. One last question in reference to how much you show yourself in video. Like we're both pretty much, above boobs and, face. What is your suggestion? Literally for people meeting online for the first time visually, would you say that this is the perfect amount of face to video space that you would suggest?
So I'm moving back really slowly so that you can get a sense of it. The problem
because you're getting smaller and smaller. The further you move back, you're getting smaller and smaller.
Right. So what do you want to show? What do you want to be seeing? What part of you do you want to show?
Exactly.
It's the same in life. You emphasize, or, I'm wearing lines like this. There's a lot going on, which will take you down and up to my face. You really can't avoid my face for very long. Your brain, no matter what you're looking at, my rings, if I want to distract, that can be a thing. You can have a whole range of different things, but ultimately, what do you want to be seen? Like, maybe you want to be sexy. I don't know. What call is it? Maybe you want to be like,
there you go. If you want to be showing off some skin, you might be leaning back a little bit.
whatever it is, like, it's really about seeing the frame, how others see it, not how you see yourself. And that takes practice and time, or getting someone to, tell you, this is what I'm seeing, because it isn't natural, and that's okay. It's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is no right or wrong is my point. The other thing to think about is, it's different on this, it's different on that, it's different on an iPad, it's different on each model. I had a completely beautiful set. It was completely arranged. And when I say a set, it's in my house. This is a set in my house. So that when I'm doing certain things, I just jump in and jump out because it's my business. And then I got a new computer and the lens changed. So I had to change my entire set.
Yeah.
And I didn't check that. I just went live and I was like, why is everything I'm skewed? So it depends where you are, where you're not. And I'm very large in the chest. That's not something I want to show.
Yeah.
Others do. Others pay for it. It's not my thing. So who are you? What do you want?
Yeah.
Each person's
Good
different.
questions. Good questions. So I know you have 5 secrets to make magnetic videos. It's a special offer gift you have. Can you share that with her? What
A
that
little ebook. It's just the 5 kind of key things which we've just talked about. You know, how to distance yourself from the
Oh,
camera.
beautiful. So you can actually get some concrete information in this book, in addition to what we just talked about.
It's pretty much all the things we talked about with just a little bit of a couple of little hacks. And if you do this, you'll at least show up with a presence of who you are. And ultimately, it's about people focusing on you.
Great. And that link will be in the show notes. And there's something else that's really important that's coming up, your mood board masterclass. What the heck is a mood board? And why don't you share with them what this is?
So in filmmaking, and we create a mood board for the art department, the production designer, the cinematographer, in order that each scene is going to be represented in some way. And so we're all working to the same vision. It's on the script and we turn it into, so your life is the script, you are your script. And then you want to create this one frame. We're not many frames. They're not coming into all the different rooms. You might move your camera around, but that one immediate first 3 seconds someone meets you, this here, the frame, what's the mood and tone you want to convey in that? And so when we do a vision board for your man, or I guess that's what I did to manifest mine, and or for your business or your life, you know what a vision board is. It's like that, but you turn it around to your values. And from your values, there's a color chart in that ebook. Color has a representation of emotion. Like I was talking about with the pink background that I've got, that's fun, that's love, that's trust, it's romance, it's all sorts of things. And there's color research and theories across art, across science, across psychology, across marketing. And so we are enculturated. And so you create your own mood board as a representation of your personal brand, yourself as a personal brand. And that could feel really icky to people, but a brand is just like a logo. It's the same of like, we say, you know, you're going to go to, you know, a really good friend's graduation. What would you wear? You might care.
Yeah, no, that's great. And when people are meeting people, I always say that your profile is your billboard. It's your storefront sign, you know? And
That's
so
it,
how are
exactly.
you branding, how you look? That's a huge piece. So I love that. So the master.
I love that, Junie. I think I'm going to use that. I love that billboard. That billboard for your profile is 100% right.
Yeah.
So you're creating the colors, the mood, the tone,
Right.
and something that is of value to you.
Yeah, and then you can refer to it and you can really own it and spend time really getting to know what it is that you're really calling in. So that's awesome. So we'll put that link in the show notes as well. So sister, you can get her ebook and the mood board masterclass access. You totally want to do that. Sal, thank you. Lots of wonderful tips, because this is a new arena for my women that are following me. So thank you for your time today. This was golden.
You're welcome. I'm going to get a link that's the free, so it's complimentary to your women. It's a gift, because that mood board masterclass is usually got a cost associated to.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. That's so awesome.
Thank you. I really wish all your women so much love and by being seen, heard, and valued.
Yes, seen, heard, and valued. All right, sister, that's our episode for today. I know you got some really interesting tips today that are not our typical tips here, and so important. So enjoy. Hope you took some notes. Look at your wardrobe, look at how you're showing up online, and start to really lean into this, because this is a big piece of connection and intimacy and being seen, heard, and valued. All right. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you got some good value, please share it. Until we meet again. Mwah.
Thank you. So grateful. You're so good at this.